So this is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
Oh.
And, of course, we got Mike.
What's up, guys? I'm Mike, and as we barrel through 2022 Electric Boogaloo, we are not starting Hot Girl Summer. We're not starting Dad Bod Summer. We are starting Top Guys Injured Summer, and it's kind of depressing. So... we'll talk about it.
I don't know where you were going with that. I was just kind of waiting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a different direction. I thought you were
saying.
just going to say hot ass summer because that's what it is for San Antonio. So.
Well, that I'll accept that too.
This is, I know.
I checked with the judges, and they accept that as well.
Texas is hot as hell normally. Everyone knows that. But I had some friends that just moved down here from Chicago. And this is their first Texas summer. And it is unseasonably hot earlier than expected. And they're already suffering.
It really is.
Yeah, so... thank you everyone for joining us. Let's pray. Everyone say a prayer that we get through this with no crazy technical difficulties.
You did.
And we are going to be taking the time to recap briefly NXT In Your House and WWE Hell in a Cell, as well as, of course, talk quite a bit of wrestling news that there is out there. And yeah, that's kind of what is on the rundown for the show. Somewhat short this week. And then I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun over the next couple weeks, too. So, real quickly, though, let's get into the wrestling news portion of this. And again, if you're watching us, we do appreciate you joining us. Share your thoughts on what we're going to talk about. Share your thoughts on the news, In Your House, Hell in a Cell. Let's get right into the news portion of this. Now, last week, of course, when we did a show on Friday night after Rampage, CM Punk had addressed the crowd regarding an injury and kind of left it wide open as far as what they were doing with the AEW Championship. We understand there's going to be an Interim Championship, but the series has changed a bit. So, Mike, they've made it all official. Why don't you give us a full breakdown of what is happening?
Let's see if we can get through what we're doing now. So, apparently, first of all, it's now become the AEW Interim World Championship Eliminator Series, and it starts tomorrow night on Dynamite on TBS. So it's a multi-stage eliminator series. We start with a battle royal that will be on Dynamite tomorrow night. Okay, and whoever wins that, which I assume will probably open the show, in the same night, so probably at the end of the show, will face Jon Moxley, who is currently ranked number 1. So he won't be in the battle royal. He gets to face the winner. Whoever wins that match goes on to Forbidden Door on June 26th. Who will they face? Well, on June 12th, New Japan will be having their Dominion show at the historic Osaka-jo Hall. And longtime New Japan stars Hiroshi Tanahashi and Hiroki Goto will face off. Sorry, Tommy, if I butchered that. And
actually, good job. You got both of those right.
And then the winner of that faces the winner of Moxley / Battle Royal winner at Forbidden Door, on June 26th. Yep. And they will be interim champion until Punk is able to come back, and then, in theory, Punk and that winner will face off down the road.
For a unification bout.
And a unification. There you go. Whew.
I kind of like this. Again, you don't see this in wrestling very often as far as, a champion's hurt, strip of the title, whatever. So this is a interesting way to do this. Now, one other piece to this, and I know Tommy shared the post, and I saw it too. I was like, oh, I know Tommy's excited. Originally, of course, Tanahashi was supposed to be wrestling CM Punk at Forbidden Door. And he's already called him out and says, hey, you're hurt. Get healthy. Why don't you come to Wrestle Kingdom? So, Tommy, that tweet, your thoughts, will it happen? Is CM Punk going to be in Japan on January 4th at Wrestle Kingdom?
Do you know how many people get personally challenged to a match at Wrestle Kingdom by Tanahashi. Are you kidding me? If this is last match ever for Punk, I'm like, God, do it. Like, seriously. Now, okay, this was me from the start. I never, ever cared if either one of them was champion when they faced each other. Because I could watch them wrestle over a paper bag. Booking. A paper bag, filled with gold Sonic rings. I don't know. I'm making this up as I'm talking. But because that's how much I don't care. If Tanahashi is wrestling CM Punk, they have to wrestle each other. There can be a belt. There can be a strap. There can be a title on the line, a contract. I don't care. I don't care. Just wrestle each other. And so I don't see why he wouldn't do it. I really don't see why he wouldn't do it. I kind of believe both of their like legit philosophies of pro wrestling is like to give the fans what they want. Like I think Tanahashi has been doing that his whole career. I think the reason why Punk left WWE in the first place because he couldn't do that. And I feel like this sucks for both of them because I know both of them are looking forward to this. This time, you could also get Wrestle Kingdom, which Punk has never been on, and pretty much that's his event.
Yeah.
And Okada's. But so yeah, I'm thrilled, man. It's yeah, I think it'll happen. Like I really think that this will be something that they both wanted to do anyway.
Yeah. I want to see Punk's promo about the plastic bag now. Tanahashi, it's not that I hate you. I just hate this idea that you deserve this plastic bag.
You think you own the Sonic rings in that bag, Tanahashi? I would love to see an Eddie Kingston promo about that.
Oh,
like the time he cut about the Sour Patch Kids.
Comment from Drake Revenant. The whole thing sounds complicated. Crown a new champion, different but a lot to unpack. Yeah, I think when you read through it, you get it. But in simple terms, it's a battle royal, and the winner faces Moxley in one night. It's basically like a playoff, if you will.
Yeah.
Just kind of almost turned into a Final Four kind of thing.
I do like it because it's different. Because I think any other time, and look, we hate to say it, but WWE obviously the one that's been around the longest. We would have had a gauntlet match or a 6-pack challenge or something along those lines.
Yeah. And
this, it's a little bit different. It's you get your number one contender. So Moxley's going to have a big match now. I don't know if this is part of the news also, but there were reports of Daniel Bryan injured again. Or Bryan Danielson.
I read that, and it's only for like a couple of weeks. He just had like.
Well, yeah, but then that probably means not tomorrow because I would have loved to see Bryan Danielson versus Moxley in that match the same night. But we still also hold out the possibility that Tanahashi is interim AEW champion for a while. I mean, that's a possibility down the road. So
yeah, we don't know exactly how serious this injury is to CM Punk too.
Or for the love of God, Goto finally wins a world title some freaking where. I'm just saying that dude has been through a lot of shit. And he should be world champion somewhere.
And if anyone who's probably a fan and would do it, probably Tony Khan.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, what if Goto wins? Or Goto, right? That's who's wrestling. What if he wins the semi and wins it?
If Goto wins, then I fully see him being like showing off to the whole world why a lot of people who defend him so fiercely will know. Because I feel like you can't watch guys like who haven't been IWGP heavyweight or world champion at this point. You see them, but they're not world. They're not world champion because they're not good. It's just that I think they're always better as the bridesmaid instead of the bride.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But like Goto, Ishii. Suzuki on this list only because he's never won the championship in New Japan. He's done it in Noah and All Japan, but he's never done it in New Japan. So I put Suzuki on that list too, even though, I mean, but all those three have one thing in common: they need a world title to be legit. Like I want to see Goto and Ishii win a world title, but they don't need it. Like that's just a personal fan thing, for me. But they do not need one to be considered the greatest wrestlers going right now because they are, with or without a world champion. So,
Jake agrees. Yes, Goto, let's go. Yeah.
I was just going to say one more thing, real quick. Another thing that this kind of allows you to do is to kind of take a risk or kind of put the interim belt on someone that maybe we thought, well, they'll be champion eventually down the line. You have a little chance to be risky and test it out, because if worse comes to worse and they don't work out as great, eventually Punk comes back and then Punk can beat him. But, think guys like Miro or Keith Lee, who, they jumped over. We were hoping for a big push for them, and they got decent pushes and they're in the middle, but it's a chance to take one of them who, maybe in another year or so they get a run and, win the Battle Royal, upset Moxley, face a New Japan legend either way. You could really build not build them, but really just put someone over who's up there, but, wasn't quite at the championship level yet.
Well, let me give you a name on who, I was going to say, let me give you a name who I think could be in that scenario, since I'll make a prediction. Darby Allin. What if?
Yeah.
What if he's never had that full opportunity at a world title? He's over. He had the TNT title for a while. Mm-hmm. He's been in the ring with CM Punk, and what if he pulls this off in one night? Be a hell of an underdog story. I mean,
and he had a match with Moxley, right? Where Moxley beat him up or something?
In the career.
Right?
Pretty early on, yeah.
AEW,
so for him to come in, who knows how beat up he'll be after the Battle Royal. We know Moxley's on a violence streak now.
Or after the Battle Royal, in between the commercial breaks, because of anyone he met and pissed off randomly, Kyle O'Reilly, Team Taz, the guy in row 5 in section C.
Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks, who, by the way, they just had an article about him in PWI on the latest issue.
I was just gonna say, whoever wins it has like the Jay White thing, like how remember how Jay White, they put him in as Bullet Club leader after Kenny Omega left, and look at him now, man. I mean, Jay White. I mean, you almost can't name a better heel. This is gonna be controversial, but sometimes I feel like he's better at being a heel than MJF. I really do. I just feel like he has this natural kind of smarminess to him that MJF has, but I think Jay White's telepathic with it. I think it makes him scarier.
Yeah. So. MJF is still in his young. He falls back on some of the same things in his promos. Like some of his promos, he knocks out of the park, and then there's some times where he's just repeating the same heelish stuff he did for a while. I mean, he's young and he's obviously super talented. But no, I agree with you, Jay. Jay White. So Ricky Starks is, to me, someone who, when they're ready to push him and give him that run, he'll run and he'll take it all the way with it. So here's a chance to do that now.
I'm sure Drake put this in before the delay got to him, but he also said Ricky Starks, give the man a real belt.
Yeah.
So yeah, there.
I feel like also with Ricky Starks it's like I think they're kind of doing the same thing with him they did with a lot of guys. Is like they're letting the audience get to know him more before they just thrust him in the world title picture. I feel like he's going to get there because Ricky's always been too talented to be held down. Now, my wife still doesn't like him, but he's always been too talented to keep held down.
Well,
she just screamed about it. She still doesn't like that.
I'll make sure to make a copy of the article I got at PWI magazine about him for her, just for her.
Yeah.
So, so we'll see how this plays out. I'm very interested to see what happens tomorrow night. I'll have some time to watch it because my Avalanche have clinched. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals, so I don't have to worry about them tomorrow. But I will be watching a little bit of Texas softball, Game 1 of the National Championship World Series. So we'll see what happens from there. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. But I do like it. It's different. It's exciting. Interim championships you don't see in wrestling very often. So
yeah.
Now the other news item is going to relay a bit into our Hell in a Cell discussion, so I think we'll hold off on that for now. So in the meantime, let's move into, if you watched it, NXT in Your House.
That guys.
and okay. Go ahead.
I just got word. Apparently, the trios match, the Legado del Fantasma versus the ethnic Italian mob, was actually also the first round of an Eliminator Series, and that faction will now be facing the winner of the Triad versus the Irish Mob tag team match in what they're dubbing the NXT 2.0 ethnic mafia / culturally inappropriate stereotype Eliminator Series.
hold on, Mike. Along with that, I heard that the winners of those matches have to go on to face the Black Godfather Mafia. Kind of based off the American Gangster movie with Denzel Washington.
Sure.
They have to face them in a first person remove the full Italian suit off the other match. So yeah, that's gonna be good. Book never, please, for the love of God. I should have said that out loud. Yeah. Nick Khan probably got an idea.
And Drake said the AEW Eliminator Series was complicated. Jeez. Now, full disclosure, I think I'm the only one here that's watched In Your House. I gave it a shot. I wasn't too excited about it. I will say it's been a long time since I watched NXT, which, by the way, premium live event. Just keep it simple. This is pay-per-view. Technically you're paying to watch it. Just come on. But yeah, it's the show. The promo was weird. I don't understand what WWE has against factions. You could have had this family versus Legado del Fantasma on a deeper storyline. I don't know. We'll see how this goes from here. But they basically had Santos Escobar job out on NXT today because he didn't want to take a crowbar. That's how that played out. As far as how the rest of the show goes, the highlight matches for me really were Carmelo Hayes and Cameron Grimes, and Mandy Rose and Wendy Chu. Those.
That's not that surprising.
That was actually really good. The tag team championship was also great. The Creed brothers defeating Pretty Deadly. So Creed brothers are now the new NXT tag team champions. Carmelo Hayes is the NXT North American champion. Mandy Rose retained, and Braun Breaker retained. Honestly, the Braun Breaker Joe Gacy match, it played out to me just like I expected it to. It was like every other scripted, if you get DQ'd, you lose the title thing. So it was like, okay, they've done this before. They kind of played it out. They played the part. And, I feel like you got to let those guys just go. They can do something more with it. I like how, they always have to hinder that story if it's done right. Like, one of the most interesting matches in Shawn Michaels' career was when he wasn't allowed to do the super kick. And he really had to do that. So, but yeah, it played out like it was. Drake says, wouldn't Raw and SmackDown be premium live events too? Yes, I agree. Because maybe not SmackDown. You can watch that on free TV, but
I don't know about premium either. But anyway,
he says, not gonna lie, I wanted Gacy to win. Yeah, part of me does. I really did. This was like my first time getting to fully see what Gacy's gimmick is. I like it. The whole psychotic thing, almost Undertaker-esque, but not quite. I think he could be a star, but they're really pushing Braun, and I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna jump up this year, but he'll probably be a post-WrestleMania debut.
Did they remember to reference him as Rick's son and not actually call him Scott's son?
They're making a point to barely even mention that if they do, So it's
which is messed up because they had a whole kidnap angle with his dad, and it's like, and he's still the nephew of Scott Steiner. It's like, dude, the man's father got kidnapped by this guy.
Standard WWE
Scott
rules.
Steiner's brother was kidnapped. Yeah. Scott Steiner, the uncle of Braun Breaker.
Right, it's standard WWE rules. We don't remember storylines that are over 2 months ago. It feels like so it's
not wrong.
Yeah. So as a show, it wasn't bad. I mean, there's a few standout matches. I would probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. Your basic passing grade, and nothing spectacular about it. Still had the whole In Your House nostalgia with the old intro that we all remember growing up, or at least Mike and I do. I don't know how you might have been too young, Tommy. Promotional consideration, paper by the following, so for a nostalgia point, it still had that. It's nice to see them keep that around. It's just with the new NXT rebrand and it all being like tie-dye and these paint splatter colors, it didn't really, I don't know, it didn't really speak out to me as much. But a few highlight matches, I should say, were pretty good. So, and we'll see where the rest of it goes. I'm not exact. I think Roxanne Pettis won the breakout tournament tonight, right? I didn't get to see the main event. I'm pretty sure.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I believe she did. So, down the road, I don't know how much longer Mandy Rose is going to hold the title, but maybe Roxanne Pettis is the one to take it off her. So,
I feel bad because from everything I've heard, like Mandy Rose has really improved her wrestling and done everything she can to, be the champion for their brand, and
she's doing great.
A toxic attraction, right?
Yeah.
The question is, Can anybody name her finishing move?
Oh, shit. They said on the pay-per-view.
Mandy
I don't
Rose?
remember it.
What? Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't remember.
I mean, as good as I'm sure she's doing, what from everything I've heard with 2.0, the focus is barely on her wrestling and more on toxic attraction. Look at the sexy ladies, and
Yeah.
that's a discredit to how hard they must be working. Because I
Crews
heard
showed up in NXT.
who?
Apollo Crews.
Oh, okay.
He's still with WWE.
I didn't realize he was still hired. Yeah. Unless they just rehired him.
He's another one that they didn't realize. He was just hanging out in
Yeah.
catering and stuff.
Oh yeah, so Roxy, I keep calling her Roxy. She won basically. Yeah.
Nice. I'm interested to see how they'll move her up. I know she's the breakout star. They've really pushed her since she debuted, and so I'm really gotten better with promos, segments. So I'm interested to see how they work this in as far as her potentially getting a shot at Mandy Rose. But yeah, like you said, she has improved so much on her wrestling. Like, this is the exact opposite of Eva Marie. Eva Marie was like, they really pushed her. She didn't really improve her wrestling. Didn't take time to learn the craft on it, Whereas Mandy Rose pushed herself, got serious about that, and was learning it too, and that's a testament to her too, because she didn't win her Tough Enough season, but she's arguably the most successful one to come out of that season, because I think she's the only one left from that season too. So, yeah. Derek just said it. Wait, Apollo still works there? That's what we said. So, all right.
But it's just me, or does it feel weird to have so many characters counter to that whole colorful NXT thing that they're pushing, like Toxic Attraction, Joe Gacy? I feel like okay, I kind of get it, but it feels like you guys don't have enough people who actually back that up.
Yeah. It's
that's just me.
Yeah, it's a unique thing, but it is what they have right now. So
who's the female tag team, and they just changed one of their names? Candice Katana, no, something Katana instead of, she used to be Casey Kazantaro or whatever.
It's
her
Gigi
and Carter
Dolan and JC Jane. Right?
No, those are Toxic Attraction girls.
Oh, okay.
And then there's that tag team. It used to be Casey Kazantaro. She was like,
oh crap, I don't remember.
And then someone, I think Kaden Carter. But then they changed the first girl's name to something Katana. Are they still like party? Are they still like party raver girls or something?
Pretty much, yeah. They came in on the shoulders of guys with the shoulder pads on. I mean, the two sides of the entrance coming through the crowd. So I mean, yeah, they're definitely over. But
so
yeah.
Kaden Carter, and she used to be Lacey Lane back on her indie days.
Katana Chance.
And
yeah.
Oh, there you go,
Katana
Katana Chance.
Chance, yeah.
I knew it was sword and something sword.
Yeah. I hate both name changes, but that's just me. So.
What's that show on Netflix based on the book? Something in Bone.
Blood and Bone, I think.
Yeah, I forget what it is. Based, yeah. So yeah,
it's a good show, good book.
It is. I'm really waiting for season 2. So
yeah.
All right, let's move into Hell in a Cell, which, to be completely honest with you, was better than some of the recent Hell in a Cells as I can remember. This is like arguably been one of the worst pay-per-views every year, for anything from a random Hell in a Cell no contest to which was related to Lesnar crashing. It hasn't been exactly well. So, however,
this contest in Hell in a Cell,
makes no sense to me. But this one, of course, with only 7 matches on the card, had one Hell in a Cell match, and it ended the show, and there was no titles on the line, which was great, We'll get into that, but I want to talk first about the women starting it off. Bianca Belair, Asuka, Becky Lynch. Bianca pinning Asuka, pulling what would normally be considered a heel thing, let Becky hit her finisher, threw her out, and got the pin. So, great match, great start. Mike, I know you saw it, but yeah, the decision to go with that, smart one.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, even with the face, especially if you're getting not outdone, but if the heel's getting over on you, because usually the dynamic is the heel's the smart one and the baby face is dumb. So it's kind of nice to turning that around a little bit. I do want to say, and since he's been back, I haven't really liked the character because I wanted more of the man from Becky. But for what it's worth, because it's Becky Lynch, she's put everything into this Lady Gaga, female Seth Rollins, just like I mean that's what every time I see.
You're right. I just never made that connection until now.
It's like those over the top costumes, and she's put everything into it, and her matches are still like top of the line. I just personally wish we would have gotten more Becky Lynch the Man for a while. I think that's a character that like Stone Cold could have had a pretty long run. I mean, I know obviously she got pregnant, had her child, but when she came back, I wish it would have been more like that. But the matches are still top notch. You have 3 of the best wrestlers on their roster in that match, and they delivered. Bianca's just showing every time she goes out that she's one of their top girls and can go with anybody. Asuka never puts on a bad match. It was a great opener, it really was.
Jake says, "Are they Mortal Kombat characters now?" Talking about Kaden and Katana. Yeah. He also says it would have been more.
Kind of.
Yeah, it would have been more interesting if Becky had gotten pinned. Yeah, I think so, but I think this obviously sets up, with the way it ended, Becky versus Bianca. Whether that will be at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, it seems to be the direction that they're going. I could definitely see that being in Vegas at Money in the Bank, though, going that route. So.
And then the most important question we need to know: when is Bayley coming back?
Any predictions? Any word of it? I mean,
legitimately the most important question. I'm not even joking.
No, and there hasn't really been much updates. Like people were expecting, WrestleMania, one of their last big shows, but she posted like, "You guys are, in her character, you guys are dumb. Don't you understand rehab and recovery?" And that was like a couple weeks ago. So, no, but she's going to get cheered out the building when she shows up, no matter what happens. So.
Yeah, I keep flashing back because like they're like kind of like the MJF thing last week. I keep flashing back to I don't know if you guys remember when Kevin Steen, who's Kevin Owens now, when he was technically fired from ROH, he showed up and cut a promo and like just slaughtered the New York crowd, but they like cheered him out of the building.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of going to be what happens with Becky. She might cut the harshest promo ever and get cheered outside. Like, it won't matter. It's like, oh, you fans are stupid. Yay!
We are stupid.
It's like
all you guys are the worst fans ever. We're the worst fans ever.
It's like us going to an indie show and seeing, okay, what are the heels going to come up when they talk about San Antonio? Like, what's the fun stuff they're going to say? And like, oh, you might be true, right?
My favorite one.
We are fat and we do eat tacos.
Red Dragon was here. They did the Stars at Night thing, and they said, "I can't believe you idiots did it anyway." I was like, bro, it's a law. We don't have a choice.
It's natural as breathing to a Texan.
I think it's written in the Constitution. I think one of my favorite ones too. I think we're at I forget what show we were at, but somebody like says, "You're a bunch of dumbass Mexicans eating your burritos," and then one of the guys with me had his leftover Freebird's burrito, and he's there eating it. See, this guy's eating a burrito. He's like, "I'm freaking hungry, bro." So that's great.
I laugh because it's like for San Antonio crowd, you're like, "Yeah, no, we're eating burritos." Matter of fact,
there's a taco truck outside. You want something?
You want some, bro?
Yeah, that's right. Like eating your burritos. Like, did you want one? We could have got you one, bro.
Actually, when RCW ran Freetail, the brewery had there was a taco truck outside. That would have been perfect.
When Heavy Metal, when they were still around, shout out to Dylan. When they ran out that place near Sac, there was a taco truck there every night, like every show. There was we like during intermission, my homies would go get the tacos, just come right back into the show.
I probably would have come back in with a fruit cup, man. So shit. So. Other matches on the night: Lashley defeating Omos and Osmosis and MVP. Kevin Owens defeating Ezekiel. Now the interesting. I'm sorry. What? Go ahead.
Is Ezekiel the Ultimate Warrior without face paint? Like with the arm tassels and like what? I don't.
I'm cautiously invested in this because I'm very curious what they're
It's
doing.
The only reason is because of Kevin Owens.
Yes.
The only reason
yeah,
it is
yeah.
getting over is because of what Owens is doing.
Mhm.
Because honestly, otherwise the character looks really dumb.
Mhm.
Like it really does look like the Ultimate Warrior without face paint, and it's 2022. It's not 1991. I don't know how you look at that and then you looked at Elias and go, no, this is better.
Mhm.
I don't know, but
It's just the standard funny storyline with it, right? You know.
oh yeah, I mean there's
Yeah.
the storyline, but again, that's apparently all
Yeah.
Owens. So
I'm gonna come back to the six person mixed tag match. Madcap Moss defeats Happy Corbin. Theory defeats.
oh yeah, let's get into Moss versus.
I'm not touching it. It was no holds barred. Why? Nobody cared. Like I seriously saw people going.
I was gonna say it's amazing how much I don't care about that match.
I seriously
It's
saw people
amazing.
using that match as a bathroom break.
It was no holds barred because they don't know any holds.
Wow. Theory defeating.
That's a quality joke.
Yes.
I'm clapping that one.
Yes.
That's a quality joke.
I like it. They don't have that long list of Jericho's holds, right? You know.
No, it stops at one.
Theory defeating.
Armbar.
Theory defeating Mustafa Ali, and this one was really good, especially with the crowd totally behind Ali. He had the Chicago colors on. He's from there. Theory's still going over, which is great. You know, it was one of the better matches of the night. Only 10 minutes long, but still, the crowd was definitely into it. Really hopeful, and that one was awesome. You know, to say the least. For what it was, for something that was kind of lost in the shuffle, I think, in the build up, it went over really well.
What? WWE did promote an Ali match? No, you're kidding me.
So
Shocked.
I feel so bad for Austin Theory because on the Indies, I wasn't like a huge fan, but I like knew the name. But I feel so bad that he's up there now. He's doing U.S. title, does stuff, and I'm just not watching because I'm just like so thoroughly uninterested in WWE right now. I feel so bad because I'm legitimately happy for him in his career. It's like I am for Kevin Owens, all those guys. It's just like I'm just so not watching right now, so I'm missing all of it.
He got the WWE kiss of death. Vince McMahon said he was the next big thing.
It's true. It's basically what's going to happen.
That is a very good point.
I mean, he'll get fired,
right,
come back from the Indies, a huge star probably in a few years.
No, he'll get fired, make a name in the Indies, go to Impact, win their World Championship, and then show up later at a Royal Rumble. That's just what's going to be.
That's about right.
It doesn't have to be just that, guys. He can also go to Japan, win a tag title or two, go to Europe, win one of their world titles, then go back to WWE, win the World Championship.
Yeah. Jake says Elias' younger brother is pretty impressive, by the way. He did want to mention that. And he says Theory needs his first name back. I get it. I hate this stupid. Everyone's got to have one name thing. You know? It's just dumb.
Where did that come from? I don't understand why that's like that.
You could play a game where you take anyone on the NXT roster, and when they get to the main roster, what's their name going to be? Like, Braun Breaker, just going to be Breaker. Joe Gacy, probably just Gacy, you know? So... I mean,
I'm like, what is Vince's problem? Because Mick Foley to this day has 4 names.
But all of that, and then they add freaking into the middle of Seth Rollins literally as part of his like official name. Like if you look him up now, he is Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, you're right.
You take everyone else's, but you add a name into like I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
I'm so confused. It's like, and I also I really do think this is still part of Vince's mission to when these people eventually get released, no one will know them because their names will be different. But I also have to keep pointing out the internet is still a thing.
I think
and until
Vince
that's not a thing anymore, that's not going to work.
I think Vince still thinks you have to dial in to get your internet. I'm not sure if he's aware how much it's advanced in the like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, like AOL doesn't even have Instant Messenger anymore, Vince. You are.
I think he's still like putting those CDs with 250 free AOL hours. He's just got a stack because he doesn't want to pay for new internet.
Yeah, the funny part is my brother-in-law was helping him restore an old Windows XP PC.
Who, Vince McMahon?
No, my brother-in-law. I was helping him restore one, and he got it restored. And start your free trial of Netflix where they mail you the movie. Remember those days? My gosh.
Heck yes.
It takes you back.
No, I forgot they never did that. Yeah.
I remember when I first heard the guy in college, he was like telling me about it. I was like, I don't have to go to a Blockbuster. They'll mail them to me. That sounds cool.
That's where the decline of Blockbuster began. Yeah. So, now the 6-person mixed tag match, Judgment Day versus AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan. Great match, played out really well. I thought they could go somewhere even further with this as a stable warfare, faction warfare kind of thing. Not going to lie, Styles, Balor, Liv Morgan, great team. They just go so well. But then on Raw, they brought in Finn to join Judgment Day, and then Priest, Balor, and Rhea turn on Edge. Why? It doesn't make any sense to me.
They changed his music so he can no longer see clearly, and I think he didn't see that coming. So
that's actually a pretty logical explanation, actually. When you think about it. So yeah,
I really did have to catch that before it all spit out of my mouth. That was good.
But, I mean, it's been a long time since I mean, Edge is like the perfect leader of that faction, but
yeah.
So
And-
okay, I guess you're really going with
But
this.
it's like this. It's even faster than what they did with Randy and Bryan Danielson in the Wyatt family. They both joined and turned. Bryan, they did real fast.
because the
Orton,
fans
they
were
gave
going to
a
let it go. They was like, "Oh, we can't do this." Yeah,
But this was even faster because he literally like joined and turned within seconds.
yeah.
It would have been, and not that I was going to watch Raw, I'll be honest, but it would have been interesting in the story to like have Finn, well, I'll be honest at least, Finn joins and then slowly he's like, you see Rhea and, I almost called him Punishment, Jesus Christ. What's Damian? Priest. You see Rhea and Priest kind of like turning more to Finn for like answers and stuff, just slightly. I mean, you could have, I don't know. It just happened. I don't know if Edge needs time off or what it was, but
I read that they're like since with the injuries and stuff, they just need another babyface, and maybe they're going to make Edge that babyface.
So he's
Stop
literally just
releasing
going to come
people.
back to Metalingus next Monday.
Probably.
Probably.
Maybe they did the stable short term while they got the license or something. So
Okay, hold on.
yeah,
If we get Edge and Beth Phoenix versus anyone in Rhea Ripley from those two, I'm down with that.
Okay, that will be cool with me too.
Then I'm
I
cool
agree.
with that. Because if she comes in to back up her husband and we get to see her and Ripley, yeah, I'm down with that.
I'll take one step further. When they did the mixed match challenge, they haven't done it in a couple years, obviously because of everything going down. Give me AJ Styles and Liv Morgan as a tag team.
Yeah, for sure.
Be great. So
She's someone else who took her training really seriously and really wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about that countless times these last couple months of like,
I just feel bad
you've heard the push.
because when they do it for these people, they were like, "Yeah, push them now," and then no one does it. I'm like,
Yeah.
"We like them now. They're good now. What is the problem with now?" So
Yeah.
now the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Obviously, this was a bit in question. The news coming out literally the night before that Cody Rhodes has suffered a torn pectoral muscle while he was lifting weights. And they heavily promoted him for Hell in a Cell. Like his face is on everything. Hell, they've been promoting him in Vegas for Money in the Bank. They had outside of Double or Nothing, they had one of those advertising trucks with Cody Rhodes' face advertising Money in the Bank outside of the T-Mobile Arena after Double or Nothing with AEW. So he's been being
wrestling
pushed.
is funny to me.
Yeah, he's been being pushed to the moon, which I honestly thought was not going to happen in WWE. You know how Vince is petty about certain things. He never really treated the Rhodes family right while Dusty and while Goldust were wrestling. But this had been going well. The torn pec, and you think, okay, what are they going to do? This was their big main event. The match is still going on, and I really thought they were going to write some sort of weird story where he was like, he loses, he gets beat up, and that's how he gets the time off or something, or he gets really... But man, they ran with it, that they didn't shy away. He's got an injury, but he wants to keep going. Even adjust the crowd, that he made the decision on his own to stay with us. So, but first of all, shout out to Seth Rollins for coming out in Dusty's polka dots. Doing the whole thing was great. And
I saw a video of that later. I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. I can't even lie.
It was too, because he's dancing out with his big fur jacket or whatever it was, feathery jacket, and you're like, why is he like covered up all weird? And you're like, oh, okay, That's a good one.
But it was a great moment when Cody finally took off his jacket. Nasty as hell, but you saw all the bruising from it. But
God.
the crowd reaction itself really helped that match. I gotta say, it's dangerous. Props to him for going out there. For those wondering, there's no way that's real. I mean, for all the hits they took, if there was any makeup, it would have rubbed off. That bruising was
it was real, and I've seen people and like even
Triple H when he tore his
medical doctors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they said that the reason they allowed him to go is because it was completely torn off. He couldn't have done any more damage. He just had to deal with the pain, and got to give him credit. I mean, he put on a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Somehow hilarious and sad. It's like why'd you let him go out there? There is literally nothing more he could do to this. It is impossible to make this worse.
And
if he can toughen his way through it, go for it, bro.
And shout out to trusting Seth Rollins to get you through that as well, because I mean, I don't want to throw other people on the bus, but if this was a few years ago, I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to allow himself to face Ryback in Hell in a Cell like this, or certain wrestlers who aren't going to take care of him. So
yeah,
but I who I also credit for like knowing Seth Rollins can be trusted with that. I remember an interview Sting had years ago talking about how good Seth is and how safe he is in the ring. I know because I know like Sting had like an injury, I think, during that match, and he said that wasn't Seth's fault. Seth is a very safe wrestler. I just suffered an injury. It's wrestling. It's a freak thing that happens sometimes.
Right.
But but Sting was really heavy about defending Seth.
Right.
Saying so I think that kind of talk from other wrestlers, especially veterans like Sting, saying, "Hey, this guy's safe. You may think he's that, but no, he's safe. He just freak accidents happen in the ring." So I feel like, that's the kind of guy you're going to trust with you if you have an injury in the ring.
Yep. Now, Drake, I'm sorry, your comments are just popping up. He says, so instead of taking a chance to make Finn a big babyface, they do the double turn. I could see that. I agree with that. But, I mean, Finn has some heel experience, and he hasn't really showcased it as much on the main stage in WWE. A little bit in NXT, not so much here. So, maybe, there you go. Bullet Club. Let's see it. Let's see what this stable becomes. Let's see it actually run.
Bullet Day.
Yeah. Do we get
Judgment
Day?
Do we get Bloodline versus Judgment Day at Survivor Series? Like maybe is that like a setup match there too? I mean,
Judgment Club.
That's
Judgment Bullet.
That sounds like a bad.
Judgment Bullet sounds like an anime finisher, by the way. Judgment Bullet sounds like something that would happen.
I was gonna say Judgment Club sounds like a group in like some teenage knockoff of Mean Girls or something.
It does. It really does.
That's the Judgment Club.
Yeah. We wear pink on Wednesday.
Those pants with those shoes.
Yeah.
Judged.
Jake
Stop thinking judge the thing. It's never gonna be a thing.
Jake says, hope Cody heals up soon. Kudos to him for going through the match. Yeah, definitely. For putting your body on the line when it's like, I mean, it's battered and bruised enough. The timetable can be anywhere from 6 months to God knows what. But the decision to have him win, and that was probably the original decision to begin with, but the worst thing for a wrestler at this point, especially when you have such a big push coming, is you have to get time off for an injury. Because you're off TV, you're almost forgotten. And I fear that this time off is going to destroy everything they're planning to build. It's like when they get him on TV, they're just going to relegate him to a mid-card. He's not going to get to the heights that they had for him. That's what I worry about.
You're going to see his face, and they're going to be mentioning him this whole time, like giving him updates. Like every Monday, I going forward, they're going to, I think he's supposed to have the surgery like Thursday. Mm-hmm. I bet next Monday they're going to give the surgery update. Mm-hmm. And then I would, I mean, they've done it sometimes comically. What was the one I remember with Randy Orton where he was a heel and they were doing like, when he was real young, they were doing like updates, but because honestly, he's getting the full Hulk Hogan, John Cena treatment. Like he is, Roman Reigns is the face of the company right now, but he's a heel. Mm-hmm. They are giving Cody Rhodes the full 1980s white meat baby face. I always have to be careful. Like, obviously, when I talk about WWE, like we've said before, like I'm so jaded with them about things. But I'm a little bit with Cody too because he's a smart wrestling mind. Mm-hmm. So even showing up in the ring, like you said, and then the reveal of the arm to get the crowd to go, oh, he's smart in everything he does, and I hope it's genuine in everything he says, because he's the king of manipulative promos. And I feel bad saying this, but he'll bring up his dad and then he starts crying. He did a lot in AEW. He did in his first one back for WWE. Again, I'm a little bit jaded about things, so maybe that's just me, but I don't know.
They're going to bring in MJF to hold his spot until he gets back.
Wow.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Obviously, the way the timeline works, I have a really, really strong feeling that Cody's return will be at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Surprise
Cena
entrance.
will be number 30.
Number 30 or surprise entrance somewhere in the mid-20s, and he's going to win it all.
Oh God, it's Cody Rhodes.
And makes me wonder. I mean, is Roman still going to have both belts by then, or are they just going to fully unify it?
I wouldn't be surprised if he still does.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm convinced they're not going to unify those damn belts. I'm convinced they're not going to do it.
The only thing that might save that is Money in the Bank coming up, because you can take one of them, or you can take him off him with a cash-in where he's beaten down, the usual thing, and it keeps him strong. Takes one of them off him. Maybe that's a stipulation of the Money in the Bank that you can't
claim
cash
both.
it in
you have
for
to
both,
cash in for one.
right? You have to claim the one you want to cash it in for. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But because other than that, Cody was the only person getting built to even come close to beating him, and even the guys who you think would have a chance, like your Drew McIntyres, your Lashleys, they haven't been given the push lately to really seem like they're on his level. So
yeah. As far as Seth Rollins goes, do you think he wins Money in the Bank and is the guy that take one of the belts off?
Like we were talking off air, and you were like, "Yeah, it would probably be WWE to lose. Money in the Bank. Now you're the champion.
Now you get a title shot. Yeah, So
yeah, I mean, we know what Seth can do with Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. He's honest, in a very similar vein to Becky. This character he has. You hate him so much, but he's so good at what he does. Mm-hmm. I almost venture to say he's underrated because you don't really appreciate all that he's done consistently through the last many years. Even when he had that kind of face run that turned sour real quick because of his tweets and stuff, he never disappointed in the ring.
Yeah.
And he still doesn't. So, I mean, it's definitely something you could do. You would hope maybe they put it on someone a little bit different, but I don't know.
Burnsy, what's up? See you in there. So.
Burnsy?
Yeah, you just joined in. So.
Hey, Burnsy.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty decent event. The with what they had to work with, and even with the injury, it went off really well. When WWE first used the red cell, it was actually Hell in a Cell here in San Antonio. I remember Tez was there, sent the picture, and he thought, from being in the arena, it was a great spot. You can see the cage more, and it was a good bright spot. And I do like the red cage for it a bit. It gives it an appeal. But give me more Hell in a Cell matches where this is kind of a send-off to a feud. Don't have to just put a title on the line. Have this be the ending of something, and you move forward from there, especially when the Bank coming up. I know, but I'm just saying, of the ones they've done recently with the pay-per-view, this one was pretty good. It was a 4.25 out of 5 for me. Just me personally, that's my rating for it. And but if they do these Hell in a Cell matches where they mean something, even if it's just one a night on these Hell in a Cell pay-per-views, then this pay-per-view can mean something. It's a great ending point to certain feuds before you get into Money in the Bank, which I think has worked well. Mike, do you have a rating for Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, I'll go with you at 4.25. I think it's a pretty good spot there. Mm-hmm. Like I said, as we've repeated endlessly, there is so much talent in the wrestlers in WWE. The company itself and its booking and the way it does things usually get annoying. But like we said, the women started off with a great match. Rhodes and Rollins delivered in the middle. The 6-person mixed tag match was great. I didn't watch or didn't really pay too much attention to Moss and Corbin.
Yeah.
But again, they're solid.
Okay, can I be honest? Until you two bring it up, I keep forgetting
that there's a match.
Until literally each time you guys say it, I remember that even happened. Each time, as soon as you say it, I forget right immediately.
I think I went to check on my kids to see what they were doing during that match too. So yeah.
It's like the silence of Doctor Who. When I'm not looking, I forget it was there. Sorry, if I could. The fact that I could work on a Doctor Who joke on this show is just made my day. Really.
So we don't do that very often.
So our ratings for the weekend shows: In Your House 3.5, and then Hell in a Cell 4.25. So, to be honest with you, that might have been the highest rated Hell in a Cell we've ever had. So
last couple of years, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
So, JC, I don't want to stop your flow because it's your show, but
yeah,
like we said, Dominion actually is this coming Sunday instead of Saturday. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there are a couple matches I think that you guys will be very interested in hearing about.
Is this your 1 minute warning? Because we can get right into that if you want. Does that work for you?
If you want it to be, that's cool.
Sure, let's jump right into it. So, whenever you're ready, set, go.
First off, happy belated birthday to Terry Hollywood, ring announcer of Texas in general. So he told me to shout him out. Okay, I want to shout him out. It's his birthday month, so I want to shout him out. But I'll just mention, aside from the Tanahashi Goto thing, JC, you'll be interested in this. Shingo Takagi's putting his KOPW championship on the line against Taichi because the singles match against Doc Gallows.
Okay.
Tama Tonga is defending the Never Openweight Championship against Carl Anderson.
Ooh.
2 Bullet Club OGs for a singles belt.
It
only took 10 years. but I'm legit excited for that because that's cool. And Juice Robinson is putting the U.S. title line against Will Ospreay and the returning Sonata. Sonata's back from injury. And, of course, Jay White, the man who single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. Sorry, I love that he still uses that like Jericho did with Rock and Stone Cold.
Steve Austin.
Yeah. He's facing Okada for the IWGP World Championship.
Nice.
Some match on the card. Yeah.
Whoever wins between Takagi and Taichi, you're just holding it. That's all you're doing. You're just holding for Toriano to claim it. 5 minutes before midnight.
That damn trophy in December.
5 minutes before midnight. I'm just telling you. So
we got
that damn trophy. I'm gonna be so mad.
We got some months. Toriano, he knows when he needs to go back and get his title.
It's all about timing,
He's got some
bro.
months.
You thought Edge was the ultimate opportunist? Just you fucking wait, dude. I'm telling you.
Toriano might actually be better at him. But Mike, you'll be interested in this one. United Empire is getting another title shot at the tag belts because Great O'Connor and Jeff Cobb are facing Balor Fale and Chase Owens again.
Nice.
And what I'm personally interested in is Suzuki Gun versus House of Torture to get the damn never openweight 6 belts off those 3 turncoat sons of bitches. Anyway, for those of you who watch, I don't like House of Torture. Evil and Show and Takahashi can all kiss my ass.
I feel like every time we talk about this, I got to go, Tommy, his name is Evil.
I don't care. Naito gave him everything, the bastard.
All right, Mike, you kind of ready to work this in here? Go for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, this one is completely different and out of left field. First of all, I'm going to mention, if you have not watched or you're not into Stranger Things, totally would recommend giving it a watch. They're into season 4, obviously. They had 7 episodes, and most of them are way over an hour, or at least over an hour. I won't spoil anything. The end of episode 4, real emotional thing with a song that has been resurrected recently. Kate Bush is Running Up the Hill. But what cracks me up, because I didn't remember this till I saw these TikToks. Wrestling fans started going, oh, you like Running Up the Hill from Stranger Things? I like this. That was the song they used in the promo package for the second Taker-Shawn Michaels WrestleMania match. When they go through the story of Shawn winning the Slammy for Match of the Year at WrestleMania 25. But it's not by Kate Bush. It's by a band called Placebo. It's a cover of it, yes. And it's hilarious because the minute they started playing the package, I was like, oh, I totally remember this. And then you get to relive the great story of him challenging Taker for a second match. Taker says no, so he says he's going to win the Royal Rumble, and He gets really far in the Rumble. He eliminates Triple H at the time because he's so obsessed. And then he does it when Batista eliminates him. Goes to Elimination Chamber and interferes just to get the match. But the song is great. The minute they started playing, I was like, oh, that's where I'd heard it before, too. So I just love when wrestling fans will take something else out of pop culture, and if there's anything that they connect from wrestling to it, they'll be like, yeah, y'all know this, but I remember this. And that was great. So also watch Stranger Things. It's a really good show, and that ending of episode 4, as emotionally invested as in any wrestling match I've watched recently. But yeah, so also YouTube. Placebo Ran Up That Hill, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. Great video package.
I haven't watched that in years. I gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
All right. For mine, we did something a little different here, too, and I hope this works. Let me shift this around here.
Oh, are we going to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What, do you want to say something before we do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Tommy. So, your birthday was last month, correct?
Tommy,
oh, no,
you there?
Tommy, you there? No, Tommy. Are you there?
Okay, I'm here.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah, well, what's up?
Your birthday was last month, correct?
Yeah?
Okay. And me, JC, and Tina were talking, and I don't know how much you want to share with WrestleCasters, but we know you have gone through a lot in the last couple of years. In general, things, people. And so we were started talking. We know we kind of missed your birthday in general. So
Apologies.
I got a top tier idea of something for you. And so I know you don't know this, but I actually have some contacts in the wrestling business as well.
Okay.
And we reached out, and I explained to someone that you are a big fan of theirs, no matter what some people may believe. And so they want to share some encouraging words, some top tier encouraging words.
I'm saying top tier.
This is not going the way I don't think you think it's going to go, Tommy. But I just want you to enjoy this, okay? I hope you guys can hear this, so here we go.
Tommy, it's Jessica Havoc, and I just want to take this time to let you know
Can y'all hear it?
that Michael,
No.
JC, and
No, I
Tina,
can't hear
It
it
says
yet.
watch
they
stream.
freaking love ya.
Shit, hang on.
And I
Don't watch
was
stream?
told that you are a big fan of.
Hold on. Jesus Christ. Y'all couldn't hear it at all?
No.
I can click. Let me try clicking watch stream. See what
Click
happens.
to watch. Yeah, you have to click to watch stream to see it. That's the thing.
Okay.
All right, let me know when you got that up there.
Okay.
Mine.
It's spinning now.
Okay, let me know when it pops up.
Mine's on.
Hold on, guys. We're getting this to work here. Just waiting for Tommy to
Yeah.
hit
Oh
one.
yeah. Okay.
You ready?
Okay, I can see.
All right.
Yeah.
here
Is
we go.
that?
Tommy, it's Jessica Havoc, and I just want to take this time to let you know that Michael, JC, and Tina, they freaking love ya. And I was told that you are a big fan of mine, and I very, very much appreciate that. Thank you. I hear that you're a super positive person, and you help out so many people, and that honestly warms my heart because I love to hear when my fans are good people, and I've been very, very lucky to experience that with so many people. I'm actually currently taking you on a walk with me and my little dog, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Say hi. But I'm here to remind you, because I hear you're going through a tough time, that everything will be okay. I promise. It's always tough in the very beginning, especially when it feels like so many things are hitting from all different sides, and with crazy things that are going on in the world, and we're living through a lot of crazy stuff, and it can be depressing, but just know that you're not alone. And It's important that you stay strong and keep being you. Don't lose who you are because of everything going on around you. I hope that this message finds you well, and I hope that you have a great day. And I just want to tell you to keep your chin up, and I appreciate you, and thank you so much for being a fan.
Well, shout out and thank you to Jessica Havoc for that. As Tommy often likes to say, his alternate reality ex-wife, and I think it's hilarious he does that so as well. So, first off, I want to apologize that we didn't bring up your birthday on the show. For me personally, there's a lot going on because my daughter's birthday was like right around that time too. But
yeah. No,
it's a belated happy birthday. But yes, you know, usually we're trying to make. Go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead. Usually we're trying to make you laugh, but it's nice to see we got you to cry. I think.
I got one more thing that might make you laugh, though, Tommy. So, legitimately, and I'll admit this on air, when I started looking at the Cameo to set it up, you only get so many words to type, or like letters. It's like an old, Twitter 100 characters, and I was like, So I looked at some other places, and on her Instagram, she has a button for email, and it's just, I won't just share the email, but it's just a Gmail account. So I was like, let me try my luck. So I messaged her and just be like, hey, just wanted to tell you that I just sent a Cameo request for a friend, just want to give a little more explanation. I might have tracked down one of your pictures on Facebook from an old ACW show where you had a Marry Me Jessica Havoc sign and you took a picture with her. Yeah. And I went for it, and I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way. I don't know if she saw it. She may not have seen it or may not have by the time she got the Cameo. But I actually did. I was like, if there's any way you can start the video with "Hello, my alternate reality ex-husband," I tried to get it in there. She may not have seen the email. Maybe she doesn't check it as often. But yeah.
I love it. I love you guys and you suck because damn it, I never wanted to cry on this show. That was so cool. Yeah. Okay. And after the crap day I had, that totally made my day, like for sure. Yeah.
And for what it's worth, Jasmine Allure is also on Cameo, and it was a thought for a little bit to make it more funny. But
I would have fell out laughing if you actually.
I know you would have, but then when I saw her, I was like, "Nah, we got to go Havoc."
Oh shit, we should have paid for both. No, one thing she said on there, and this is with everything going on in the world right now, things will get better, but it's. I'm back in the office. I had to work from home. I'm glad I'm home. I'm glad my kids are home, but their school year got cut short as a precaution because of what happened in Uvalde. So there are brighter days ahead. I'm not going to make this any sort of political discussion, but things will get better. But we have to be better as people. And shout out to Jessica Havoc for taking that time to send a message. Yeah. Tommy, we're here, man. Life gets better, and hopefully, we'll be getting together more often for events and just in general. Maybe for the 4th. So, but yeah, life does get better. Life gets easier. One of my favorite quotes is, "In the end, everything will be all right. So if things aren't all right, then this isn't the end." So,
yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah. So, great. Steady says he has a message for you as well, so I want to see what he types. But in the meantime, let's
damn it!
push to the closing of the show here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I've been way too corrupted by television where you got to undercut the heavy emotional moments with jokes and humor.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, top tier. I'm just going to throw this.
Anyway, for us, thank you everybody for joining us. If you didn't already, share your thoughts on In Your House and Hell in a Cell. Thank you to Drake Revenant. Thank you to Burnsy.
Hands down, Mike.
And thank you for sending messages and chatting along with us. We're trying to get on here like every Tuesday. Usually it floats around. Just to keep more updates on when we're going to be broadcasting live, our Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast. Here on the bottom of the screen right under Tommy. Steady. He says, I have a message for Tommy as well. My wife says he has the most infectious, joyous laugh ever. She loves hearing it. She's not wrong. You do have a great laugh. So, and
one of the funniest things I did, real quick before we go, there's a TikTok I posted, and a friend of ours, the guy who ref for you, he said, because I was silent, my mic was muted, but he still said, I can hear your laugh from here.
Yeah. So, final thing I'll say about all that, Tommy, is like there's a reason so many wrestlers in this state and all across this country, and well, think about it, across the world, because when Lance Hoyt's over there, respect you and know you, and maybe they'll give you a hard time, but deep down they love you, man. So, and it's you're one of those people. So
yeah, and my contact also said Lance Hoyt said he will give you a loving choke slam anytime you need, through a table if it needs be.
I remember that video where I got super kicked by Johnny Axel.
Yeah.
When he had me in the sleeper, he literally whispered to me, "I love you, dude. Thank you for letting me do this." And he kept beating me up. Best part about that is when he said he was going to do that, like 2 other wrestlers who did not have a clue what we were doing, they said, "Oh, we're in." I was like, "Wait a minute, I didn't agree to this."
That's awesome.
It was hilarious. But
yeah,
thank you guys so much for that. That absolutely, especially after today, that was really needed. And I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for being part of the show, man. So now something you'll probably be excited to hear, what we're going to be talking about next week. Do you guys know what that is?
Impact Slammiversary?
Yeah, because it's on the agenda, exactly.
Yeah.
Impact Slammiversary. 20.
I thought that's I wasn't looking at the same. I was too busy wiping my eyes from tears. Anyway, so I was looking at. Before
we sign up, I'll give you a quick rundown of what's been scheduled so far. I don't know if you guys know what's on the card. Josh Alexander is going to be defending against Eric Young. Ultimate X is back.
Thrilled. Yes.
Ultimate X is back. We're going to have a Queen of the Mountain match. Yes. Briscoes versus Good Brothers.
Oh God!
And we're gonna get
6 to midnight.
We're gonna get Honor No More against Impact Originals. Impact OGs has to be a member of a current or be a team of current or former Impact stars. Currently, they have Frankie Kazarian and the Motor City Machine Guns, and 2 more spots to be announced. So stay tuned to Impact on Thursday this week and next week to find out.
You know how WWE allowed Mickie James to show up at Rumble?
Yeah.
If they would ever allow AJ to show up for one show, or Tony Khan probably would let Samoa Joe, but
do you think? Well, usually they got to pay it back, right? They let Mickie go here. Ooh, boy! Oh boy!
I'm going for Amazing Red because I just love Amazing Red. I legitimately have never cared how many people say, well, he's not. Don't care. He's Amazing Red.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week to definitely talk about that. I'm very, very excited for that. It's going to be such a fun card. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Down here we got Tommy.
Yes, thank you all.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
I should probably get the music going here. And I'm JC. Whoops. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real. People are
fake.
And thank God we made it with no technical issues.
Adios, Gunther.